Chuck Keyes, CEO of Wave Waterworks, born in the late 40s. For most of my life, I never heard terms like tsunami, 100-year flood, polar vortex, firestorms, El Nino, climate disruption. Now, on an almost daily basis, I hear an extreme weather term in the news. We rarely use the phrase now, how's the weather, as an icebreaker. We have more specific tragedies to talk about. Why? Because here on planet Earth, we are on fire, underwater, melting, and drought-ridden, all at once. Sadly, we must now make it our mission to accommodate these now commonplace occurrences. A 20-fold acceleration in just 10 years in these events. But then I'm preaching to the choir here because you all know that. All of us here at the conference are charged with the awesome responsibility of saving lives and creating a basic environment for survival. We are businesses, governments, educators, military, nonprofits, all looking for guidance and synergy. Whether devastation has come about through the impact of war, terrorism, or through natural or man-made disease, a decimated infrastructure will likely not sustain human life. In Farmington Hills, Michigan, USA, the lifelong inventor and founder of Wave Waterworks, Mr. Philip Dedula, has been paying attention to the increased pollution, climate change, and extreme weather for over 40 years. Our motto in our company is doing the impossible every day. Dedula's intent is to clean this place up. To combat these effects, he invented the Oscilla Drive. The Oscilla Drive is a small, portable, flexible device that can generate power from waterways in order to move water, power the cleaning or desalination of water, store power like a battery or a generator. It can do so on waves as small as 6 inches without massive, long base, long lead time infrastructure creation. A cloudy day or a lack of wind will not affect it. Deployment is as easy as a helicopter or a ship bringing a barge filled with Oscilla drives to which the drives are mounted. Since 71% of the earth is water, this is a strategy that works for most nations. Additionally, the Oscilla Drive ensures that we are not trading one problem for another, as some diesel generators do. We must clean the water without polluting the air or creating atmospheric and geologic damage, such as gravel pits left from coal mines. We can't build on top of that, leaving less space for our expanding populations. There are many energy products, including numerous other power devices. There are other types of energy creators, such as wind and solar, and they may become more efficient in a long-term restoration scenario. But none rival the Oscilla Drive in terms of its nimble flexibility, short-term 0 to 60 implementation in a disaster situation. We are the first to admit that this is not the first piece of technology to harness wave energy. There are over 1,000 wave energy into electricity conversion techniques patented in Japan, North America, and Europe since 1910. The reason for so much interest in wave energy conversion is easy to explain. It is one of the most reliable forms of clean energy in existence, with enough power to supply the world's energy demand. It is also the most predictable form of clean energy, surpassing wind and solar. So you can see there is a need for efficient means of wave energy conversion to electricity. It's less expensive than wind or solar, with no negative impact on the environment whatsoever. However, this is the point of divergence for the Oscilla Drive. All designs have different conversion mechanisms, but have the same goal: transfer wave energy into a generator and produce electricity. There are other systems. The other systems are large and robust for continuing power generation for larger scale systems. These systems also have high manufacturing lead time, Cycles are expensive and have too much maintenance costs. The Oscillo Drive is a flexible, portable, modern design for power generation with a focus on continuous or non-continuous generation of power. Made of recycled parts, the Oscillo Drive can store the captured wave power in a mechanical capacitor. This power can later be transferred to a generator under optimal conditions. As Phil Padula says, everybody is looking for electricity. I just want power. Power, simply put, is the enabler for a self-sustaining platform which can provide an array of options. Options include, when the Oscillo drives are affixed to a barge, creating clean water on one side and making compressed air to create a fan to clear away contaminated air, like after 9/11 in the US. It can noiselessly power the cleaning of air, the power of cleaning or desalinating water, the power to move water, and generate heat or cold. Accountability and effectiveness are also features, as input and output can be monitored and controlled when the device has internet connectivity. In our devices, we have plans to connect everyone with the internet. Oscillo Drive maintenance is nimble and quick. Using a plug-and-play strategy, an ineffective drive is simply swapped out with a replacement. Using wave power to clean and filter water, you can have instant clean water at a shoreline. Also, by moving the water from a barge to a higher place, you can hold it until you need power and then release it like a dam. It only takes 15 to 20 foot drop from a storage tower for later power conversion. It can also be pumped up to a storage container, such as a gully or a man-made container, and then released for continuous flow of power. So while many here today are focused on short-term disaster recovery strategies, let's vow to create long-term conversion to green technologies as a norm, not just a temporary stopgap measure until we get the old energy technologies back online. This is the inflection point where technology like the Oscillo Drive can be combined with wind and or solar to convert and sustain an environment to green. This is where larger, more robust systems can ramp up the horsepower for a cheaper, more environmentally friendly energy creation. The Oscillo Drive is a complementary technology, not a cannibalistic one. We can also use our time together this week to brainstorm some preemptive approach to disasters. As our elders used to tell us, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. A preemptive strategy is cheaper and more effective than reacting post-event. We know that Asia will have at least 2 tsunamis a year. We know when hurricane season is and what island nations and coastal states it will impact. So for example, we have a bank of portable Oscillo drives mounted on barges. In the Caribbean, for example, that can be airlifted anywhere and set up. Barges outfitted with Oscillo drives can be used or can be stored or used permanently or airlifted to a holding site where they can be deployed when and where they're needed. Later, they can be retrofitted with a windmill or solar collectors. In the meantime, they can create energy that can be stored in a grid or used wherever it's most needed. A great strategy for the UN or other global disaster relief organizations. And we have those organizations here today. The world is changing in terms of power. We have more power than we need. Devices like the Oscillo Drive can store energy and release it when needed. Hook it up to a grid and let its nations decide when and where it needs to go, and maybe even continuously run. Our goal has always been to bring together all resources we have at our command to address any problems. In business, this has brought us great success. As we took on this enormous task of aiding the struggle against global climate change and its devastating impact on our Earth and her people, our standard approach was inadequate. After all, how could we expect to succeed where the whole world seems to be failing? But then we thought, what if we could enroll the brightest new minds to take on the challenge? What if we could encourage an entire government to use its resources for our cause? What if a national defense department could be included to offer their unique mobilization and coordination abilities? And what if people of a country were offered an abundant, nearly free supply of power? Continuous power. Unlikely or not? Improbable or not? Impossible or not? Perhaps our slogan for the company has been doing the impossible every day. So to that end, I'm very proud to announce our Wave Power Alliance with the country of Brazil. Our new global enterprise model creates an alliance with Brazil's Federal Institute of Pernambuco, the government of Brazil, the Defense Department, the university, private and public industries, and local governments into a partnership. Through this partnership, Wave Waterworks Alliance will work with the university to continually improve the product through research and development. We will assist Brazil in creating a marketing center for Central and South America and the Caribbean as their territory, and all stakeholders will receive the benefit of an income stream from this project. All the stakeholders are working together on this accord, ensuring integrity and quality in the design and manufacture and the distribution of the Oscilla drive. We are very excited to see sustaining energy platforms for use and deployed by the entire country. And this is our business model to move around the world and help save Earth. Now I'd like to very briefly introduce some people from Brazil. Dr. Haber Silver, stand please. Okay, and then we have Dr. Fevereiro. Okay, they are from Brazil. They're the Alliance of Representatives from the Institute of Pernambuco. And at this time, I would like to further recognize one other person at the core of this alliance. He is the absolute human embodiment of the spirit of our model to be a bridge between universities and government, cultures and companies. It's my pleasure to introduce to you our Director of Research and Development, Hugo Fridas Pimentel. Hugo just told me I misspelled his name on his business card. But anyway, Hugo is a member of our staff, a Brazilian citizen, and he's also a master's graduate from Oakland University in Rochester, Michigan, where we have a partnership with them. And then also with us is Eric Maud. Eric is the detail man in production. Okay, and that's the staff that I brought with me. So let me conclude. I don't know if we have another entertaining event that we're sponsoring, but please stop by our booth, talk to us. We are very much interested in establishing relationships where we can work together. And we're talking about business, universities, different organizations, profits, not-for-profits,